So I welcome you all in the part 2 session on this amazing book, Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani. And in the last session, we learned about how Anita Moorjani, she found her soulmate in Danny Moorjani. And they found that they were both perfect for each other and they decided to get married. So today, let's see what's in store as we unfold the next chapter in Anita's inspiring journey. So I will share my screen here with you. Okay. So now, Anita's father, he had not been keeping well for some time. And so Anita's parents, they decided that they would go to India to seek alternate healing therapies because they had tried all the conventional medicines here in Hong Kong and nothing was working for Anita's father. So they decided that let's go to India. And so they both, Anita's parents, they went to India. And then one fine day, Anita, she gets a call from her mother quite unexpectedly. And Anita's mother, she shares the news with Anita that Anita's father, he has passed on. That last night he went to his sleep and he didn't wake up from his sleep. And Anita, she was now very sad to know this. And Anita, she packed her bags and went to India to attend the last rites for her father. And as the ashes of her father were being poured into the river, Anita, she had tears in her eyes, and with folded hands, she whispered to her dad that, my dear dad, I am so sorry if I ever caused you any pain. I am getting married, and you aren't here to see me walk around the wedding fire. You lived for this day my entire life. How can you leave now? So we know that Anita's father had been waiting for Anita to get married right from the time she had passed her high school. And now when Anita, she had finally found her soulmate and she, from her heart, she wanted to get married. And now her father wasn't there to witness this beautiful event in Anita's life. So the next days were quite gloomy for the family as everyone mourned over Anita's father's demise. And sometime later, a family priest was consulted to take out an auspicious date for the wedding. So the date was taken out, which was set after an year. And though there was still much time left for the wedding to take place, but this gave an opportunity to Anita's mother to take her mind off from the recent loss of her husband to look forward to this beautiful event, which was the wedding of her beloved daughter, Anita. So Anita's mother, she, with enthusiasm, she participated in making sure that all the arrangements, that all the preparations for the wedding are done. And finally, Anita, she married her soulmate, Danny Moorjani, on December 6th, 1995. And now, Anita, she was leading a happy married life with Danny. And after some time, Anita's brother, Anup, he decided to leave Hong Kong and move to India to start a business there because a recession was going in Hong Kong. And because of the recession, Anup and his family, they left Hong Kong to get settled in India. So Anup, along with his wife and their toddler son, they left for India. And then sometime later, Anita's mother, she too left Hong Kong to settle with her son Anup in India. And now, with all of her family moving away from Hong Kong and get settled in India, Anita felt very lonely. For Anita, she had never lived in a country other than where her parents, where her sibling were living, because they were all living together in Hong Kong. And now Anita felt quite sad and lonely. And to make matters worse, Anita, because of the ongoing recession, she lost her job. And now the society pressure was building up that Anita, now she is married and now some time has already passed since her marriage, and now Anita should have a child. Because Anita, she was already 33 when she got married and some years had already passed. And the society norm was such that once you are married, the immediate expectation is that you should have a child. And Anita, she did not wanted to have a child. And both Anita and Danny, they shared the same thoughts that whenever they want a child, they can adopt one from the adoption house, for they believe that there's so many children in the adoption house who would love to have a home for themselves. And Anita, she was clear on this that she didn't wanted to have a child. And with this, Anita, she wouldn't even have to worry about her biological clock. But everyone in the society was creating a lot of pressure for her. And when finally Anita shared her thoughts that she doesn't want to have a child, and whenever she wants one, then she will adopt one. And listening to these words, she got very harsh responses from the society. She met with responses like, "Can't you bear children? Oh, I am so sorry." And again, everyone starts thinking that there must be some fault in Anita because of which she can't bear child of her own. Otherwise, who would thought of adopting a child and not having your own child? And with all of this, once again, this instilled so much of fear into Anita's life, the fear of not measuring up, the fear of not meeting the societal expectations. And this wasn't something new for Anita, for since childhood, she had been having the same fear of not meeting what the society expects out of her, whether it was when she was in the school, when she was bullied so intensely, and she chose not to speak up and share the same with her parents because she didn't want her parents to think of her as a problem, or whether she wanted to do a job after her education, or whether it was opting for higher studies, and the most significant of all, breaking her own engagement. So, whatever Anita did, it never met the societal expectation somehow. And once again, her want, her desire that she didn't wanted to have a child, it once again, it completely was contradictory from what the society expected out of her. And this feeling of Anita, again, she felt helpless. She felt hopeless that why do I always fail others? That why do I not meet the expectations of others? And then, luckily, after some time, Anita, she was able to find some freelance work, and this gave the much, much needed respite. And now it was the summer of 2001. And Anita found out that her best friend Soni, she has been diagnosed with cancer. And when Anita, she learned about this, she could not just believe, because her best friend Soni, she had been hale, hearty, healthy. She had been looking after her health. She had a very healthy lifestyle. And Anita could just not understand that why did this happen with her best friend Soni. And then after some time, Anita, she also learned that her brother-in-law, that is her husband, Danny's sister's husband, he also has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. And to her utter shock and disbelief, both of them, they died of cancer. And now this instilled so much of fear in Anita, and she started feeling shattered from inside. She started researching about the disease, and she started finding out all the preventable measures that one can take to avoid this disease. So Anita, she started avoiding microwaves, she started avoiding mobile phones, genetically modified food, preservatives, and she started even avoiding sunshine and air pollution. And, she started actually avoiding anything and everything that could even remotely carry this potential to cause this fatal disease, because she was so overwhelmed with fear, and she did not wanted that she should meet the same fate as her best friend Soni and as her brother-in-law. And this fear that she should not meet the same fate, it got so powerful that fear turned into a reality when Anita learned that she had cancer. And how did she discover that? Was that after an year, Anita, she discovered that she has some lump on the right shoulder above her right collarbone. And then a visit to the doctor revealed that she had lymphoma, which is a form of cancer of the lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system, as you can see, it includes the lymph nodes, it includes the spleen, the thymus, the tonsils, and the bone marrow. So the lymphatic system, which has the lymph nodes running all over the body, it is essential as it filters the blood. It also helps in fighting viruses, bacteria, and other harmful substances. And lymphoma, it begins when white blood cells mutate and grow uncontrollably. Now, the doctor suggested Anita that she should have an MRI so that they could stage the cancer. And on having the MRI, it was found that Anita has stage 2A cancer. So stage 2A means that she had cancer which was present in her neck and her underarms, meaning that it was still contained in her upper body. So as you can see that the stage 1 means when the cancer is only present around the neck area, and as the stage progresses, then the cancer spreads to other parts of the body as well. And now Anita, she was devastated from inside, because prior to this diagnosis, Anita feared, and one of her biggest fears was not getting cancer. And she had been doing everything and anything that could even carry a remote, cause to have cancer. And now she was battling with something which she feared the most. And the doctor, they advised Anita to get chemotherapy. They advised her to get the radiation therapy. But Anita, she was completely against getting the chemo done, because she said that she had been a witness to this fact that when her best friend Soni and when her brother-in-law, they both got cancer, they did everything which was prescribed by the medical doctors. They got all the chemos, they got all the radiations, but still nothing could prevent their death. So Anita was adamant that she would not get the chemotherapy, because she had this belief that if she has the chemotherapy, then she would also meet the same fate. So now Anita, she was desperate, and her desperation led her to research a lot about this, and she decided that she would come to India and she would follow Ayurveda, and she learned yoga from a yoga master. She learned meditation. She adopted a vegetarian diet. She had herbal medicines, and to her surprise, she found that all of these things that she was doing, it started helping her. She started witnessing a well-being within herself. And she stayed in India for 6 months and she practiced all of it with sincerity. And Annie also used to visit her sometimes to India. And then after 6 months, Anita decided that I have to now go to Hong Kong and I have to be with Danny. And now Anita, she was back in Hong Kong. And when Anita met with everyone in Hong Kong, nobody could believe this shift in Anita. For Anita, she looked well, not only physically, but mentally, but emotionally also. She felt strong. And everyone was curious. Everyone wanted to know that what brought this turnaround. Because everyone had such a adamant belief that once you have cancer, then there is no cure for that. And when they saw that Anita, when she left Hong Kong, she looked so miserable. And now when she is back from India, what did she do in these 6 months that brought such a positive transformation in her? And now Anita shared what all she had been doing in India. And the moment she shared, none could believe that following such simplistic practices, that doing yoga, that doing meditation, adopting a vegetarian diet, following Ayurvedic regime could actually help in combating this fatal disease. And everyone rejected this idea. They said, no, this is just not possible, that nothing can help and work against this disease. And then Anita, on getting such negative responses from everyone, on getting such fear-based responses from everyone, doubts and apprehensions, they started creeping into her own system, and she started defending her position. She started explaining, she started justifying her going to India and whatever she did in India. So Anita said that instead of going back to Hong Kong, back to India and pursuing what was actually helping her, just because of the fear-based responses, because of the negative responses that she got from everyone, she decided that she would not go back to India and she would stay in Hong Kong. So, this is how the collective belief, how the fear-based responses, they creep into one's mind, that one starts stopping to listen to their own inner guidance, to their own inner voice. So now Anita, she stayed back in Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong, the traditional Chinese medicine was prevalent. Everyone used to practice that. So Anita thought that, okay, even I will adopt the traditional Chinese medicine. But the moment she started with this, she found that the traditional Chinese medicine was very contradictory to what she had learned in India. Because in India, she was told to adopt a vegetarian diet, and here she was being encouraged to have meat-based diet. And the traditional Chinese medicine included things like acupressure and acupuncture, and was very different from what she had learned. So, this all the more got in more doubts to what she should actually follow, whether she should adopt a vegetarian diet, which she had learned, or whether she should now start the non-vegetarian diet. Everything, all these contradictions, they were getting more doubts in her, they were getting more fear into her, and she felt completely lost. And then there was the theory of karma, which Anita also believed in, which is as you sow, so shall you reap. That is, whatever we put into the universe will come back to you. And Anita, she started having these thoughts that I might have done something evil, something terrible in my past life, because of which I have to endure so much of suffering. I have to endure so much of pain. Because whatever I am experiencing now, it is a result of what I did in the past. So with all of these thoughts, Anita, she felt ashamed of herself. She felt ashamed of what she might have done in the past. She felt as if she was being judged. And the judgment was passed that now you have to suffer. Now you have to have this deadly disease and you have to be in pain. And all of this while, Anita, she tried to put her best foot forward. She was trying to be as brave as possible. She was still trying to put others' emotions and others' feelings forward. She was pretending that everything is okay with her, that she is still having a positive approach towards life, so that others, they don't feel hurt, that others don't feel that Anita is undergoing through something which is so terrible. And Anita kept pretending that everything is okay, whereas the truth was that Anita was completely shattered from inside. The truth was that Anita felt complete darkness within herself. And all this while, Danny, her husband, was the only person who understood what Anita was actually going through. And Danny understood that Anita, she wasn't feeling comfortable being around the people, they were feeling very sorry for her. They were having the feelings of pity for Anita. And Danny, he started acting as a protective shield around Anita when she was around people. And finally, Anita, she decided that she would not would want to meet people and she would like to remain within the comfort of her home. And now Anita, she started feeling physically extremely weak. Her breathing, it got labored. For taking even just one breath, it required a lot of effort for Anita, and her limbs had got extremely thin, and she had difficulty even holding her head up. She was losing weight rapidly, and a low-grade fever always enveloped Anita. So every other day, Anita, she had been visiting to the hospitals to get the blood transfusions. And on one such visit to the hospital, out of despair, out of feeling so hopeless and tired of the pain and the suffering, Anita, she asked the doctor, do you think that I can come out of this, looking at the stage I am in and looking at what I am suffering, do you think that I could improve at this stage? The doctor didn't reply anything to Anita, but in private told to her husband Danny that Anita, she has about 3 months to live, because as per the latest scans, the tumors, they have grown and increased in number, and the cancer has spread quite aggressively throughout her lymphatic system. And the doctor even said that even the chemotherapy won't help her now because her body has no strength to handle the toxicity. And any treatment that Anita now undergoes would only weaken her further and bring her closer to death. And he finally said that I am so sorry. That is, he was telling to her husband that now death is inevitable, that now the only that we can't do anything, and it's just 3 months that Anita has now to live. So now, as the time passed by, Anita's condition, it got all the more deteriorated. She now couldn't breathe even without this oxygen mask. The oxygen tank was there with her all the time so that she could take that next breath. Anita, she could not lie flat on the bed because she would start choking. There was so much fluid in her lungs that she could choke any moment. There were skin lesions all over her body. There was so much poison and toxins because of the tremendous amount of cancerous cells that her skin was forced to open so that that toxicity can come out of those lesions. So she had those open wounds all over her body, and ulcers and pus was coming out from those wounds. And then she also experienced tremendous amount of itching because of inflammation. She could not sleep in the night because of all of this, and her digestive system had also stopped functioning. So just a little amount of food which she used to gulp down her throat, even now that wasn't absorbed by her body because the digestive system had completely stopped functioning. And she was completely malnourished. And the only mobility that she had was now with the wheelchair. And her body, it had become like a skeleton with no strength at all. And all of this while, Danny had been taking care of her, and the way he was taking care of Anita, Anita knew that whatever Danny was doing for her was not out of any obligation. It wasn't out of any duty or responsibility. She knew that whatever Danny was doing for her was just out of pure love which he had for her beloved wife, Anita. So, Masters, with this, I will conclude on the wisdom sharing part. But before I conclude, let's have a glance on some of the key insights that we had in today's session. So, we learned that fear is contagious, and the doubts of others, they can deeply influence even those who have found truth through personal experience. Anita, when she went India, she had experienced this for herself, that she was improving, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. But when she was back in Hong Kong, the collective disbelief, the collective fear-based response that got into her, she chose to go by those fear-based responses. And this is how, you know, this is how the collective disbelief, it can dismantle our strongest beliefs. That society, it often dismisses what it cannot explain, especially when it challenges conventional narratives. In those times, it was believed that nothing can cure a disease like cancer, that having chemotherapy, having radiation were the only cures, that if these things cure, then you find your cure. And if you follow anything else, then you are doing a blunder to yourself. So anything that is not a part of the mainstream system, like what Anita did while she was in India, that was immediately dismissed by the society. That external validation can become a strong force than internal transformation if one's trust in self is still fragile. In the beginning, Anita, she had trust within herself when she started with the alternate healing modalities. But with time, looking at the fear-based responses from others, even her own trust and even her own light from within, which was telling her that you need to go back to India and you need to pursue what you were doing, even that light, it got faded. Even that inner voice, it started dimming out because of the loud and intense fear-based voices of others. And finally, that belief system, they shape outcomes. When Anita doubted what helped her, her mind-body connection, her mind-body continuum, it weakened. And that got immediately reflected on her health. The moment Anita also started believing in what others believed, that all these alternate healing modalities, they don't have any positive result. That very moment when her belief got changed, that reflected into her body, that her body from that moment, from that shift in the belief, it also started listening to her belief and it started worsening. So masters, with this we end our session, and in the next session we learn about Anita's profound near-death experience. We learn about the wisdom that she brought within herself from the inner realm, and with the hope that this wisdom, it will transform our perspective on life, on death, and on the very essence of our being. And through her story, we may begin to see beyond our fears. We may begin to embrace life with greater trust, and we may start understanding that we are far more than what we can ever imagine. So masters, this was all for today's session, and I welcome you all to share your meditation experiences, any takeaways from today's session, any of your personal experiences that you may have, or any of the questions that you may want. And I request also that you please switch on your cameras. Thank you.
Hi, Ruchi ma'am.
Yes, Anuji.
Yeah. So I was still working today, and then I remembered yesterday's Ruchi ma'am session. So I then joined in between, but I couldn't complete the meditation. But I had the wisdom sharing, and the book you read. But what I felt like I wanted to finish the book today itself. I felt that if you could go on and for all the for the entire length of the book, and we could finish it. It was so deep and so like um, soul searching. But yes, that's very true. Like once we let our fears creep in, that that even if our inner voice says that no, this is right, but then there's some societal pressure and collective thinking from others. Sometimes we get pressured into accepting that. I think that's where our like mind starts getting deviated, and we stop listening to what our inner voice says. Sometimes inner voice says trust, and then the mind says do not trust. I think we should try and lean upon that thin inner voice which is always within us, telling us what to do and guide us and direct us, and not let any kind of fear like allow us to be um not allow any fear to drag us at any length. Trust, it's trust on to our own self and to the divine at all times. Yeah, that's all what I felt.
Yes, Anuji, thank you so much for bringing this profound sharing to us. So masters, would anyone else like? And please switch on your cameras. I would request again that if you're sharing, please have your cameras on.
Ruchi?
Yes, Malati ji.
Yeah. I had cancer twice actually. Okay. The first time I just went for my regular checkup, mammogram, and they told me they took 2 and 3 and all that. And then they said the consultant will be seeing you And he said, "You got breast cancer. When can I give you an appointment?" Right? But I was working. So I said, "I can't just drop all my patients just like that and come." He said, "What is more important? Your, your health, your life, or the patients?" He said, "This is the date, you come back." So I went back and had the cancer, but my faith was in God, in Krishna. I said, if I have to survive, you know, the cancer would not have been detected so early. Okay. And also, I felt I'm getting the best consultant in the Southwest to do the operation. And God will do it through him, through his hands. And I believe that very strongly. And it's up to him to decide whether he wants to take me away or leave, or make me better. So I wasn't crying. I wasn't, there was no fear as such within me about it. But however, my husband was extremely upset. He's a doctor, so he was extremely upset and crying. And my brothers were also doing the same. Because they have witnessed my mother dying of cancer, so they know what will happen. But what I'm saying is, if you put your faith in God, right, whoever he is, it can be the universe, it can be any God, because Krishna is in everyone, in everything. It's up to him to decide whether we live or not. That was my faith. And I came through both. I came through it okay. That was my experience, really.
Wow, Malati ji, amazing. I mean, what do I say? That what you did, it required so much of strength and it required so much of courage that you just surrendered to the divine and you let the divine take control of your life. And you had accepted whatever the outcome would be.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And see, you are a perfect example that when we leave everything to the divine knows what is best for us.
That's what I believe in. Yeah.
Yes.
I believe that very strongly.
Yeah.
He knows best. He knows what to do, and he will tell us. Tell us through my actions, telling me, indirectly, in my mind, say, you have to go through this, you got to accept this, and it's as if the divine is talking to you. And that's what happened. I'm still here.
Yes. Yes, Malati ji, we are so happy that we got this sharing from you and we got this learning from you to be in the surrender mode and to let the divine take care of everything, because whatever he does, it will be the best for us.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Malati ji.
Thank you for allowing me to talk. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Swarna ji, please go ahead and please also switch on your camera, Swarna ji.
Hello, Ruchi ji. Thank you so much. I don't know, I'm not in a position to, open my camera. If it is okay, I will stay like this. Otherwise, I will open.
Okay, it's up to you. Okay, good. Good to see you,
Okay, thank
Swarna
you.
ji. Finally.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you so much. I joined in the end, but it's so touching wisdom that you brought up through Anita's journey. Beautiful, beautiful. Echo each and everything, how the disease manifested. Even though we bring all childhood diseases, it's all from past life, if it is this life or past life, whatever, but we need to accept that nothing comes, universe doesn't give you if it is not for you, right? It's everything is happening, whether you did, whether you did to someone wrong or not, but it is needed for your spiritual journey. That is what I believe. Whether it's sometimes we don't want to agree, like, oh, I did, that's why it coming to me. But if we agree that it is coming to us for our spiritual journey, that will really make you accept and take you to the next level, right? Because without suffering, you will not grow. That is the truth. So, but it is hard to accept, right, during that time, even though we are so good, it's coming and all. But she, Anita, accepted that her truth, that she had done something, or it's happening for her growth. When we accept from universal truth point of view, you won't have guilt, shame, or all those negative energies, because universe is giving you for you to grow, because you want to grow. It's not like universe want you to grow, you want to grow, right? We all, whoever is journeying on this spiritual path, we want to grow, no matter what, no matter how much challenges come. So yes, then universe is only supporting us by giving this. Yes, Swana, or yes, um, this ma'am, what Sumati ma'am, right? She just spoke. Malati ji. See, whatever Malati ji was so, I always admire her journey. She's so, at this age, still she's so strong. She every time look forward for the meditation. She wants to share. I really love her journey and love her talks from her experience. So beautiful. So we want to walk on this path. That is why universe is giving us. So we just accept it as if universe is talking to you. I love that the way ma'am explained. So yeah, so it's beautiful wisdom came out, and I'm so glad. Even so many incidents, it's hard for me to accept it. What did I do? What did I do? Why do I have these experiences and all? But when you take, yes, you wanted, because you strongly want to walk on this path. You want to walk on the universe's path, want to bring a positivity in the universe and within you. Then what else? How else you can make it possible, right? What else? What are the other ways? Only this way. Yes, will challenge you. You take it, be strong, believe in universe, bring all the wisdom, and grow. Okay, if it is meant for you to, if you are growing, then you will not have any sufferings. Because even the challenges come, you will not suffer. Challenges are there, but it's not. It's just it's there as a normal part of life, right? So yeah, thank you so much, Malati ji. I really bow down to you, your journey, and every time I look forward to talk to you, listen to you. And thank you, Ruchi ji, for your wisdom sharing.
Swarna, I got disabilities now. Okay, I'm 82. Got disabilities. I got my legs are weak and it swells up, and pain in the. I got osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. But when people say, "How are you feeling? Is it painful?" I say, "Pain is my friend. He comes with me wherever I go."
So sweet.
I said, I can't leave him alone, you see. He likes to come with me wherever I go. And they laugh. Okay. They know exactly what I meant to my friends, and they will laugh. But I don't look at the pain. Okay, I might say, oh God, I got to get up in the morning. Then I put Voltarol on my neck and everything, and massage my leg as well. And I'm able to get up and start doing things, right, for the rest of the day. Maybe I have to be very careful. I tend to fall a lot, so I'm using a rollator now. Okay, so but I forget often, and I walk on my own, which I shouldn't do, but I do, and I get told off by my son for that. But I am not unhappy about my life. because I'm like this. I'm very content. Okay? Like you said, I look at it as there are people who are worse than me. At least I can walk, I can do some cooking, right? I can, and when friends call me, I can go for small get together, right? And sometimes they come and pick me up, or sometimes my son takes me, right? So I don't avoid anything. That's what I'm saying. In spite of the pain, I could easily sit at home and say I'm not coming because, because I'm not feeling too good or it's very painful for me today. I can easily say. I don't say that because life has to go on, and the life has to take its own course.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Maltaji. Yeah, exactly. That is the way to go, way to live.
And I will try at my level best, and I tell God, if I'm like this till the day I die, I'm very happy. Right? I'm very happy about it. Right? Okay. So that is how I feel inside me and outside. I feel the same. I don't feel sad at all or depressed or anything. I don't feel any of those things. I love gardening. I know I can't go and do it like gardening, but I can boss my gardener to do what what I want him to do. So I tell him, do this, do that, do the other, okay? And sometimes he does, sometimes we argue as well, but that doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. That is my life, Swarna.
No. You are living your life fully, Malatiji. So much. Yeah, that is you're still spreading, going with the friends. You're spreading because others will learn from you the way your outlook, the way you're thinking. So everybody will look at you and take some message from your life. So definitely you should go and never stop going, never stop doing what you're doing. So great message, today's message, and thank you so much. Yes, pain is with you because pain is your Krishna.
Yes.
Pain is my Krishna, so he's
Yeah,
with
it's my
me
Krishna. He'll come with me wherever I go.
wherever you go. Exactly. If you
So
take that,
why do I have to be worried about it? Nothing. He's there.
true. Great way to think, and your life is awesome. Thank you so much for your sharing. Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you for letting me talk.
Yeah, thank you so much, Malataji, and thank you so much, Varnaji. Life is a celebration, and you are living
Yes.
it, Malataji. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Ramji, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to start by thanking Malati ji for sharing her journey. Every time I listen to her, it just really, like, we read in the books, we read or listen from someone else, but now here we listen directly from the person. And to see the energy, the spirit, and the intentions, the way we look at things, it is amazing. So when Marathi ji, you were sharing, I have these and these and these disabilities, and as you share how you are living, it seems like the disabilities have got disabilities out of your abilities on how you look at it. So it's really, how do you say, inspiring on how to look at things in life. It is all in our vision. It is all in how we see them, that how we experience them, and how we experience the whole life in any given point of time. So very grateful for your sharings, and at the same time very grateful on the energies, intentions that you pass on to all of us and everyone around. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Ruchi ji, what a beautiful sharings today. Amazing. Indeed, we always need to look into our own self. And these stories that come through now through these wisdom sharings from this book is a reminder, is reminder on, do we have any fears? Just look into one's own self, and those are not at all helping us to heal, not at all helping us to live a joyful life, not at all helping us to, experience life in itself. Rather, we are fastening the process of experiencing that we truly don't want to experience. So I'm sure all these will only give more and more insights in order for us to contemplate upon and work upon, not to bow down or not to become part of a societal pressure, but just go through the gut feeling. And there are so many such wonderful examples, like the one we are now listening from Malati ji and the one from the book, that it is all in how we look at the things. It is all in that. So very, very grateful, Ruchiji, that I was wondering, it's a story. How would she explain these things? Because I remember you sharing autobiography of a yogi, and there is some content there is some information there, some quotations there, everything. And now I'm very impressed how you can present anything. So very beautifully presented. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ramji. Thank you. Your wisdom is always sought by all of us,
Yes.
and we all learn from each other. We learned today so much from all the masters. We got inspired from all of the sharings that were done today, and that is the only reason for having this Sajjan Sangatya, for having
Yes.
these sessions, so that we can inspire us, we can learn from each other, and we can remind us every day that we have to listen to our higher self. We have to listen to what our inner guidance is guiding us to do, because that is only thing that is best for us.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much, Ramji.
I want to add
Thank
one
you.
of my experiences.
Yes,
The
please.
kid, I was always told that if anyone eats anything cold or drinks anything cold in winters, you will catch cold.
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
We
And
got-
it always worked, because I think that was truth.
Mm.
And it always happened to me like that. It worked exactly like it was told. That as a kid, I loved eating ice creams, drinking any cold drinks. However, whenever I used to take, it was in my thought, okay, so it is winter, in the evening times I'm eating, then I can get cold. And indeed, every next morning I was sick. So this went on until 2005, when I moved to Italy. And in December, I was in Italy, very, very cold. And my colleagues took me outside for dessert, and they took me to the ice cream parlor. And there, Gelateria Italy is quite famous for handmade ice creams. And the queue I saw was like, no, this can't be. These people are crazy. So when I shared this to my Italian colleagues, friends, they said, how is it possible? It doesn't work like that in Italy. We are eating every day, and particularly we love to eat in winters. So nothing happens. So after listening to them, seeing them, and by then I was already into meditation, but then witnessing these things really shifted my own belief system, my own prophecy I have written for my own self out of what people have told me around, what elders told me, because they're telling, because they know better than me. That was my way of looking at it. So I took whatever they told as my own ultimate reality, my own truth. And indeed, it manifested exactly like that. Then when I saw a completely different reality, which was in Italy, to my surprise, later on, whenever I ate or drank cold things, nothing happened. So we have to look into our own selves. There are so many belief systems that we have ingrained into our own selves, into our own being. It is because we thought this is what is going to happen when this is done. And we keep on transferring the same thing to the coming generations, to the people around. So we have to be very conscious, number one, to redefine our own misunderstood, or rather not rightly working to our own body, to our own mind. And then as well, to not share things that put people into fear, or rather, that is not correct. Because it is all in mind. It is all in how we believe and how we take things. So, yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ramji, for sharing your own personal experience. And experiences like this, they help us in breaking the shackles that we have made in our own minds, and they help us in coming out of those shackles, because only then we will know what life is all about. Because when we shrink ourselves and when we limit ourselves to the limitations that we have put ourselves through our mind, we are not living a life of our highest potential. So experiences like these, they tell us that what belief systems are we carrying? We need to question them. And this is just what you shared, and the results that you got were, immediately they manifested, that you didn't catch a cold after having ice cream in winters.